Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tech Support Live. This is our weekly Friday stream where you guys get to ask all your questions, and we'll be able to help you guys out and answer them right on stream. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Angelo. I'm the Senior Interactive Media Specialist here at NETGEAR. I manage the YouTube channel, a lot of the content that goes on the Nighthawk Gaming Twitch channel, and a lot of the content that you'll kind of see everywhere else across social. I'll probably have my hand on it in some way. I actually have to switch some of these names around, but hey, we actually got Brett, who will be filling in for Michael today. Sorry, his name is actually Brett. I gotta just move this over here real quick.
Yeah, and I'm not Darren.
You're not Darren. You're gonna see some rearranging right here because we are live.
Yeah, this live editing, it's so exciting.
So some of you joining us for the first time may be confused. Some of you coming back will also be confused. But it's a Friday. It's a gorgeous Friday out there here in California. So just bear with us. We'll try to get through. And but while we're doing that, we might as well break into the questions.
Oh wait, but you didn't introduce yourself. Now you have the right name and title, so Ben, I'll just hand off the baton to you.
Okay. Look at it moving in real time.
This is hi everyone, I'm Ben Osvito, aka Zardu Ben, brand manager for Nighthawk Pro Gaming. If there's anything that's connected to pro gaming or any of our Nighthawk Pro Gaming routers, I'm usually have some sort of hand in it, and I'll hand it off. I'm gonna go up to Darren.
Hi, I'm Darren. I'm a tech support specialist at NETGEAR and also a community moderator. You'll find me online in our community forums answering tech questions.
Hi, I'm Brett Tassell. I'm a brand experience manager for NETGEAR for the business products, so mostly switches and access points. So, I can help with answering questions along those, or give you the right resources to get your question answered.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining the show, Brett. I know this is your first time here, so we'll make it fun.
No, this is
I was here before.
Oh, yeah. Ones. I was one of the. Well, you were on our streams, but I don't know if you were on our tech support streams.
No, he was. Yeah. He was.
I was on a stream or two. I don't know. I show up once in a while.
Yeah. You'll be our special guest. It's been 3 months of shelter in place, so we're all in this together.
What number are we on now? Do we know?
Is this episode
third
9? I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you, I have a document of every single stream that we've done so far, and the slide deck is like over 30 pages long at this point. So thank you guys in the chat, and thank you hosts for pulling together some awesome content, because again, we're only doing this because of the chat, but also from our consistent hosts over here. So thank you for joining, because I think we're doing something cool, and we're helping a lot of people out. I also want to shout out our regulars. Vanessa Kitty, hello. Shady Joker 1, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. Again, we started this only a couple months ago, but it's really great to see you guys back.
Yeah, it really helps. And the other thing I'm starting to see, and I really like it, is you guys helping each other out in the chat as well. If there's something that we're talking about and we haven't gotten quite to that question, some people have kind of jumped in. Hey, I had that problem, and here's how I fixed it. So, you guys are you're why we do this, and you guys have been pretty amazing. So let's keep it rolling. Where do we want to start, Angelo?
Let's start from the top. So, Lex, you are the first one with a question, and actually, you say you have a ton of questions about your router. We'd be happy to answer them. And again, to everyone who's in the chat, we're going to be here from 12 p.m. Pacific time to 2 p.m. Pacific time. So this is a 2-hour stream, unless you guys dictate otherwise. So please put in your questions, and we'll go on as long as we see more questions, right? So your first one is, my router is on the latest firmware version. About every day, my router loses connection to the internet. I've resetted everything that I've needed to, and all the lights are green, but no devices can connect. Okay, and then
And that's an RAX 35.
RAX35. And then that's the last one. Okay, RAX35, latest firmware version. Router loses connection. Reset it. Router lights are green. I personally don't. I have an REX series, but I don't have the RX35. Is the green? I forgot the actual color of the lights, but is that supposed to be everything's good, or is that there's something else going on with it?
I think green is good.
Yeah, green
should be good.
is good. And then we just added a article, a knowledge base article that may help resolve the issue.
Okay. Let me actually let me go ahead and actually check this article out just so I can make sure we're all on the same track here. Okay, so it looks like this is the latest firmware. So you do have Smart Connect, you have WPA3. This would be with this latest firmware. So my suggestion here, Lex, yeah, check out and make sure that you have that firmware version that we just linked in the chat right now. One, that'll make sure that you are the latest version, but in case that for whatever reason you can't upgrade through the Nighthawk app, you might be able to manually update your firmware through that link. So try it out, and if you're able to confirm in the chat that you have done that or you need to do that, let us know and we'll still be able to continue to help you. But that's kind of where I would go with. Make sure you're on that updated firmware. I would actually also try to see what you can do to kind of narrow down your so we can diagnose the issue. So make sure you don't have Smart Connect on. I don't know if you have any other features like QoS, but I would just say kind of get it back to that raw basic just default firmware, and then let us know if your devices are still having those connection issues. I don't know if you guys have any other pieces of advice you could give Lex.
You could try taking some more devices off the connection as well. If you have, a lot of Ethernet plugged into the back, try taking a few out. Or if it's all on Wi-Fi, then just connect fewer devices and see if you have fewer problems. I don't know though. It could just be one of the devices interfering. I have seen that before.
Yeah.
And also, I'm curious, when you say you're losing internet, can you still see that Wi-Fi logo on your devices and then it just won't load like a web page, for example? Or does the Wi-Fi actually cut off, as in you don't see that Wi-Fi logo anymore? I think that's something that, if I could get an answer to that, I might be able to help a little bit more.
Yeah, because it's one of two directions. It's either you're not getting signal or you're not getting something from the modem. So if you check back and take a look at that, and then get back to us. We've got there we go. Everything's up to date. Smart Connect isn't on. So you have your system broken into 5 and 2.4. Are you able to connect to one and not the other, the 5 or the 2.4? That would be another question. Darren, do you have anything more on that, or?
Well, they're saying it's happening every day. I'm guessing it's around the same time. I mean, you might want to check to see if your modem is disconnecting at the same time to maybe see if it could be an ISP issue, and maybe they need to come check your signal strength. Because if the modem loses connection, sometimes the router needs rebooted to get connection again to the internet. That'd be the other thing. I would check the logs of the modem to see if it's having any type of timeouts in its logs.
Okay, and there is no Wi-Fi logo, so it completely cuts off.
Okay.
So that's even more interesting, because usually when I see kind of a dropout, you'll still be having a signal, just it won't be able to connect to an IP address. So that's actually more interesting for me to hear that the thing just stops emitting a Wi-Fi signal. Do you have any tips, Darren, on how to get any logs from the modem? I'm not too sure if even the modem, like the type of modem that Lex might have.
Typically, most modems use the 192.168 instead of a 1. They use 0.1 to access the modem. But you might have to look up how to access my modem, put what brand it's in, and into a web browser. They might be all a little different, but it's typically like admin password, no username password to log into them.
That's interesting. You can't connect with your modem. Let us know if that's what you're running into, Lex. If you can't connect to your modem, then that means no internet's going to the router. So, yeah, I would just get down to it and then just get internet from the modem first and confirm that everything's good on the modem side. Because if it's good on the modem side, all the router is able to do is just pull the connection that you're getting from that modem and then route it. You can spit it back out throughout your home. So let us know if you're able to get that internet connection to your modem. I would say confirm that first before we start getting down to the router. I know we got a lot of questions to start to stack up, but okay. I'll be in a game and get kicked out of all devices. And then really, I guess our last kind of bet, I know sometimes we'll float out this email, but this is kind of our way to get you a little bit more personalized help. Perfect. Thank you, NETGEAR. We have our support team in the back. Kudos to Christine. She's handling the NETGEAR account today. She'll be working with you directly. So what you could do is email netgearteam@netgear.com and then hashtag, or you could add the tag stay connected, hashtag stay connected in the subject line, and then you'll be able to get direct help from our support team right now. Yeah, sorry, we're getting down to all these questions, so Brand,
yeah,
we'll get to you.
We'll get there.
To you. But no, thank you guys for throwing them in. So again, continue to follow back up with us, and then we'll be able to kind of help and catch up, just so we don't turn this 2-hour show into a 5-hour show. All right. Let me scroll back up and let's see.
There was a question about how to get internet from the router, and I know that, from the modem. If you bypass everything and you just plug from your WAN port straight to your network on your PC, then it should work. The router is designed to split that into multiple ports. But if you do directly connect to the modem, you can see if the router is, at fault in that kind of case, right there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brett, I don't know about you, or I don't know about you guys. Are you guys getting a little crazy?
A little bit of an echo. Yeah.
Jake, just make sure you're muted on Zoom. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I unmuted the wrong one. I'm so used to regular meetings. Oopsie.
Again, that's you're seeing us live. We're doing this live from our homes, so we appreciate your guys' patience here. But we are doing all this wirelessly, so you're seeing. I have an RX 200 at home powering the stream with four total people streaming at the same time. So if we have any technical issues, you could yell at me.
That was just me unmuting when I shouldn't have. So.
All right. So MDA Rush, I see you're next on the list. Hello. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll be able to help you out. Now we got Jay's Beers. My Xbox sees Orbi as more than one network, and I can't connect to either of them. Let me scroll down a little bit to see if there's anything else. But, okay. That is interesting. Orbi is seen as more than one network on an Xbox. I don't even know if you guys have seen a similar issue to that.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. It's seeing both the 2.4 and 5. It's not seeing it as one connection like the Orbi is designed to do, but it's not letting them connect to either one. You could try to enable the guest network and see if the Xbox will connect to that, because I believe it'll only send out one SSID on the guest network. Also, make sure your security type is WPA2 for your Wi-Fi networks. Maybe if it's not the correct security type, the Xbox won't connect to it.
Yeah, that could be. It won't connect to either. Yeah, that's and the other thing is to troubleshoot it by connecting it to the router, the Orbi router, hardwire.
Yeah, hardwired. I'm sure it'll probably connect hardwired.
It'll probably connect hardwire, but just to eliminate all that it's not. If it doesn't pop up even hardwired, then I would say that there might be something with your Xbox. But yeah, I would double check against that.
You could also try to test and change the Wi-Fi name on the Orbi to see for some reason the Xbox doesn't like what it's named. Maybe you have a special character, or maybe it was a network name you've used before and connected the Xbox to, and it's causing an issue.
Yeah, and go into the Xbox and clear out all the network settings, and then just start from over. So clear out any connection settings that you have in the Xbox, and then start fresh from there and see if that will help.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, that was a lot of good pieces of advice. So, yeah, hardwired is fine. And you want to just Jay's Beers. You would rather prefer to game wirelessly, but you are still having issues gaming wirelessly. So, hardwired is fine. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple options there as to clear out the network settings that you do have in terms of the wireless settings that you have on your Xbox. And then we talked about special characters. I forgot if there was one more that you could try.
No, the guest network. Try to maybe connect to the guest network.
Perfect. Yeah. So try either one of those three things, and then Jay's Beers. If you have any more issues, keep us updated. But yeah, happy to continue helping, and then we'll still go down the line. I know you guys are all waiting, but we appreciate you guys' patience. It's good to see all the comments. Sometimes we want to give quality answers, so if we're going too slow, you could yell at us too. But we still, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we could help you guys out one-on-one as much as we can. All right, we got Shady Joker. You're back? Okay. If I'm hardwired to my Xbox One X from my Nighthawk and NAT is open and it's IPv4, do I need to change anything?
Yes. I haven't. I can't say this enough. If you can, the NAT is open, which is great. So that's the best that you can possibly get. But what I would suggest, IP4, with Xbox especially, see if you can switch your modem to run through IPv4 or V6. Then you can make the settings in your Nighthawk to change it to IPv6. Then your Xbox will also IPv6. The advantage of it is it's instead of 32-bit, it's 128-bit, which means that it sends more information, which allows you to have more stability when it comes to Xbox Live Chat, Xbox services running in the background, and to your game connection. You'll see a vast improvement. You probably won't get kicked out of games as much as you get those random kicks where you're talking to somebody in chat, and either you get kicked out of chat or you get kicked out of the game. So you'll see an improvement.
Wow, awesome, cool. So that was IPv6, just to confirm.
Yeah, IPv6, and make sure that your modem. Make sure that your ISP is working with that. Most ISPs can now address that, and then you'll have to make a setting in your modem, and then you'll have to make the setting on the router, and then go to your network settings in your Xbox One, and it should auto detect, but just double check.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Really good answer. So. If I go down, Shady Joker, try it out, and then keep us updated on the results. But again, we're here to kind of deliver you tips that sometimes it's kind of hard to find on the internet or do your own research. So we're here every week to really help you guys out with really any and all questions. So keep them coming. We got Sergio. The first one is I've tried 192.169.01 or 1.1 and nothing. You have an REX 75. And I'm not sure if you guys see anything on your end, but it'd be great to see how much more information we could get. So, Sergio, let us know if you're having like connection issues or dropouts, or simply you're not able to connect to the internet, and you're trying to use those IP addresses to get to either router login or try to get a connection. I don't know if you guys have any more questions for him in order for us to properly help him out.
Yeah, is he using another router in front of the Rack 75? And have you tried routerlogin.net to bring up the admin panel? If you're using another router in front of the Rack 75, the IP address might have changed, and you'd have to go into the first router and find the new IP address of the Rack 75 in order to get into the settings of the Rack 75.
Yeah, it seems like you're trying to get into those settings. So, yeah, keep us updated on those details. Let us know what your Rack 75 is connected to, and if you're able to get a connection. Like we mentioned getting internet from your modem. I know you saw, or we mentioned that, but what I would do in order to test the modem was to hardwire a laptop or pretty much any device through Ethernet connected to the modem. Usually, like let's say I have AT&T, I have to look up kind of like this specific IP address in order for me to get in. And then as long as I'm able to pull internet from the modem, then I could troubleshoot that with the router. But yeah, let us know if you have any more details for us in order to properly help you out on what your issue is. All right. I have to scroll back up and down. Sorry, guys. Sergio, keep us updated. But Ibran, I hope I said your name right. You're next. I appreciate your patience. I have the XR 500. Still, my ping in games are high. I've set it up in every way possible, but nothing. My connection is still bad for Fortnite.
Okay, I got a couple questions on that.
There you go.
So one, what kind of service do you have? Is it DSL? Is it cable? And what your speed is? Two, do you have what's your setting? Yeah, anti-buffer bloat. And do you have it set for detection for gaming, off or always on? And then, where is your location, and where are you trying to connect to what server for Fortnite? So
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, also inside of Fortnite settings, you have to set where you're wanting to connect to. And also, are you playing with other people, or your friends, people that are across the country from where you are, far away? If you're playing with them, sometimes you'll be connecting to their server rather than yours.
And you'll be seeing that could be a difference of anywhere between 20 and 120 milliseconds to connect across the country. So yeah, just let us know on those points, just to kind of, so that way we can kind of figure out where you are, and then tell also what are the ping rates that you're getting.
Yeah, because your definition of slow might not necessarily be that slow.
Yeah, and also you're in Texas, and Texas is notorious for having some edgy connections. So we'll try to help you out as best as we can. So if you can get us that information, we'll be able to get you more. It'll help us better troubleshoot where you're at. So we'll come back to you. So stick around and give us that information, and we'll get back to you probably after the next The next question.
So
Just
he's saying 20 ping. 20 ping is good. I mean, that is a good ping rate. That's a really good ping rate. So you can't really expect to go under what is almost about the minimum ping for any game.
Yeah, 20 milliseconds is pretty darn good, especially on Xbox. Yeah, it's what you were averaging before. But the thing is that you may be on a good connection and a good pipeline. What you're going to experience is having the stability of that connection, or you know, not getting kicked, not having drops, not having lag spikes. Those are all the huge benefits that you're going to get. You just got lucky and have that's a great ping. I average about 33, and that's with voice going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm like around 30 to 40, and I have a 500 megabit connection.
I have 300, and I see a huge difference. You're on your PC. Yeah, and I see a huge difference versus before I had it. But I also, you see a lot more stability. Your ping should be probably consistent, and that would be my next question. Are you getting consistently 20? And are you seeing any sort of spikes? Because other than that, you're probably good to go. I wouldn't say that that's high ping at all.
Yeah, if someone shows up on your network and starts downloading like a 4K video or something like that, that's usually when you would start to have some ping issues, unless you have like XR500 or something, helping direct that traffic.
Yeah, I think that we've kind of answered. You were asking what information, but like you're averaging a 20 ping. That's like honestly, I couldn't ask for anything better on Fortnite. That's it seems like you have set it up correctly. From what I've seen here. Yeah, are you the next question would be, are you seeing like any like lag spikes or any other problems? Because if your problem is just your standing latency, you're actually in pretty good shape. We'll give you a couple seconds and we'll get back to you.
So just to go back on Sergio, I see he's connected to RX75 to the AT&T modem. My follow-up question would be, are you trying to access the router login settings? I would, I'm just trying to figure out the reason for putting in IP address in terms of what you're trying to troubleshoot. So I would just go into routerlogin.net. I don't know if there's any other specific things that you're trying to do that we could help you, I guess, get to.
I guess one thing we missed on that is he could always use a phone and use the Nighthawk app. If he's connected to that Wi-Fi network, it should pick up that router and let him get into the settings via the Nighthawk app.
Yeah. Try the Nighthawk app. So, in case you're unaware, we have the Nighthawk app. It is on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. That's actually the preferred way to manage the router, especially nowadays. I mean, take it from us, working at NETGEAR, I'm still kind of used to logging into the web GUI, but in reality, if you want that full-fledged experience, go to the app. Everything is set, like, it's easy to use, free to download, just log in, and then you could remotely manage it right through your phone. So you don't have to go through all this, like, wire this up, figure out what IP address this is, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, try out the app to see if that might be able to help you out with what you're trying to accomplish. We're going to go back to Ibran. I know he put in a follow-up here. I don't know if you got any advice for this, Ben.
Yeah, so he's having a stop for like 20 seconds, and then it reboots. Is this happening on all games, or is this just happening on single on Fortnite? Fluctuation between 20 and 40 isn't terrible. But your PC, do you have anything running in the background? Are you just running just the game? Are you streaming at the same time? Yeah, because if the PC is the only device connected. Now, the other question is do you have other devices that you may not be aware that are connected, like Fire Sticks, Google Chromes, that sort of stuff? That just happens with Fortnite. And you're connecting to the Eastern servers, I would imagine, which is either Ohio or Virginia. Did you use the geo filter to filter out Virginia and probably just connect to Ohio, because that is a little bit closer?
And I would see whenever you're getting that spike, we do have that dashboard. So I'm wondering if you're able to find that cause. Like, let's say it's,
Yeah, I would. That's a great suggestion, Angelo. Is to have the have Doom OS open in another window, and so when you're seeing those, you can see what is hitting the activity that's caused that spike. You'd be surprised on what it is.
Yeah. Try that. Like, let us know if you see anything. Like, we're able to even see the category. Let's say like something, I don't know, like it could be your rogue phone that's like downloading Snapchat videos in the background. Sometimes like these things happen underneath the radar, but really that's the beauty of the Doom OS dashboard, is that you'll have that true insight as to what's going on to your network, especially when it spikes. So if you're able to kind of like see that visual, you can see what's going on your end. Because if it's not, then I'm wondering, maybe it's not your problem. Maybe it's like someone else in the server, or it's the location of the server, these other guys that you're playing with. So, I don't know if there's anything else here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I know there's a couple of questions that are still at the top of the chat. Sergio, Iran, I hope that what we're doing is at least a little bit helpful. Sergio, if you're trying to get to your router settings, try routerlogin.net if you're still hardwired into your router, like from your computer to your router, routerlogin.net, and then it should be able to pull it up. Otherwise, try the app.
I could answer a quick question for Gareth and Dan on the vulnerability. So we've escalated it internally, and the team is looking at it. We don't have an update as of today, but it is something that has been escalated internally. So we'll as soon as we have more information, we'll get you guys the information on that.
Yeah. I believe they can go to netgear.com/security for any updates on security vulnerabilities.
Yeah. So we're aware. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Awesome. Cool.
And then Marlon, great dual band, a Nighthawk dual band mesh Wi-Fi 6 system 2-pack. Bring your questions next week. We'd love to answer those. And then there's another quick question that we could probably knock out. How can I understand my ISP supports Wi-Fi 6? You don't have to worry about your ISP supporting Wi-Fi 6. You just your ISP is going to get the internet to the house, and then our router is actually going to distribute Wi-Fi 6 from that point out. And then there's another question about, does Nighthawk have a mesh system? Nighthawk does have a mesh system, that dual band mesh Wi-Fi 6 system, but also Nighthawk Pro Gaming has a mesh system where it's the XRM570, and that will give you the XR500 router and the EX7000 mesh that can connect to it. I think. Whew, okay, so I just blasted out a few.
You just knocked it all out off the list. I was
sorry. Hey, I feel like I like the spirit of Michael like took over for a second.
I know. He's watching over us. He's helping us out.
Yes.
It's so I hope you guys are everyone in the chat. I hope that we're doing a good enough job of answering your questions. But again, we're going to be here until 2 p.m. Pacific time, so about an hour and 15 minutes left. So even if it hasn't helped for whatever reason, just drop it in the chat. and we'll continue to help you out here. We'll be kind of juggling that, just trying to make sure that everything here is covered. I also wanted to shout out Marlon, waiting delivery of the Nighthawk mesh Wi-Fi 6 system. Awesome choice. Please keep us updated on how that is working for you guys. Because again, we want to hear from you guys, and this is also your opportunity for us to hand off any feedback that you guys might have, and then we have we're in contact with the product teams, product management teams, and everything. So we're happy to hear from you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, and Ibram, thanks so much. Thanks for your question. If you're still having issues, come back next week, or come back later in the stream, and we'll try to help you out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, appreciate you coming on the show. All right. I gotta go back up. Man. Okay.
Sorry, I shotgunned all over.
I know, and it was like, okay, you answered that one, but you didn't answer this. No, I'm kidding. But the next one I see is from Grubal. Apologies if I didn't answer your name right, but does the NETGEAR Nighthawk R7000P work with Verizon? As long as you have a modem receiving an internet connection, I don't see why not. Because again, all the router does is essentially pull that internet from your modem, and then pretty much just route it out to the rest of your house. So I don't see any issues there. But if you do have issues, let us know. But short answer is yes. I don't know if you guys have any other insight, but that's...
In some cases, if you have a DSL modem that has like the router built in, you have to set it to access point mode if you can.
Yeah.
If you can't get a different DSL modem. So that's just the one case where you need to think about.
Yeah, and in the case also, if Verizon is giving you a gateway, which is essentially it's a modem router built in, what we want you to do is essentially prevent double NAT. And what double NAT is having essentially two wireless names going out at the same time, which will interfere with each other. So we suggest either putting that Verizon gateway into bridge mode or disabling the Wi-Fi in order for you to just essentially only pull the internet that's coming out of your router. And that's kind of our tips here. So I don't know if you guys have anything else here.
I think that covers it. I hope it covers it.
We're going to go back to Muhammad real quick. So he asked about Wi-Fi 6 compatibility with his ISP. Another question is, the apartment is 2,000 square feet. Which router would support my dead zone? I guess I could read that in a way of, how can I make sure I don't have dead spots in a 2,000 square foot apartment? And I think from what I could get from that, you are in the market for a new router.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of options here.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can go. For that, I don't know about you guys, but Wi-Fi 6, mesh, and I'll let somebody take it from there.
Wi-Fi 6 and mesh. That's a good start.
That's a really good start.
Yeah.
With 2,000 feet, you're definitely going to want two ways to access. One on this side of the house and one on this side of the house, and those should have a strong connection together. So there's a lot of different options on, like the Orbi side and Nighthawk mesh side. They all have multiple units that your devices will connect to, and they'll, produce multiple ways for your devices to get to the Wi-Fi. So each unit, provides that strong connection. So look at the Orbi systems, look at the Nighthawk mesh systems, look at the the extenders, the tri-band extenders. Those can all help your internet succeed and get distributed around your house.
I would say if you, this is something that, we always recommend, folks on the show, is that when you own your own equipment, you're not paying your ISP, 10, 15, whatever bucks a month, and you'll save money over time. So it is an investment, but you will have more control over your network, and you're going to benefit from that performance. So just kind of hop on, Ben and Brett. One, Wi-Fi 6 is the way to go. More and more devices, even this new laptop that I got, are supporting Wi-Fi 6, and I'm able to pull crazy upload download speeds that I could just see a difference from my older laptop. So look into that if possible. And then I think with 2,000 square feet, you're gonna. I have an RX 200 here, and I think my house is about 2,400 square feet. It works great, but if you really want to focus on solving any dead spots you might have already, go mesh. Like Nighthawk mesh Wi-Fi 6, I think that might, if I could just drill it down to 1, that's probably your best bet.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, I got Brendan. I saw some thank yous lower in the chat. I don't know if we were helping you out already. Let me kind of just scroll here real quick. You did have a couple questions here. Okay, but let me just start. I noticed in the R8000, the Nighthawk app says that there's an update available. My router works well, so I'm afraid that the new version might have bugs. Is there somewhere that I could check what the update is for? I've seen some people prefer older firmware versions. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, makes sense. So...
usually with every firmware, we say what it's fixing or whether or not it's, what it's addressing. So, yes, there is a way to check that, I believe.
Yeah, we should have some release notes.
Yep.
I don't know if Christine, she is on the line, but if there's any, like kind of on the KB article you posted a little bit earlier, if there's any release notes for the newest R8000 update, that could probably be something pretty cool to check out. But, really, we do quality control these things. Of course, if there is a problem, like it's not impossible to downgrade, but we always recommend upgrading to the latest firmware just so you can make sure that your network is secure and up to date, because more often than not, upgrading your firmware solves more issues than staying on your current one.
Yeah, so you just need to go to netgear.com/support for anyone that has this question and type in your router model, and then you can see every firmware release for that router and the notes attached to those firmwares if you need to look back.
Mm-hmm.
And Christine, I believe, posted the patch, those notes below.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Christine. Oh yeah, I do see it here. Cool. I know you did have a couple follow-up questions, but let me just make sure that we're not kind of missing any here. But yeah, check out that KP article and let us know if that helps. I just want to make sure I don't. Sometimes we accidentally miss some of these, but I want to get to you, Antony. All right, I am going to switch to a mesh system, Wi-Fi 6. What would be the best one to get? Latest and greatest, Orbi or Nighthawk, or a combination of both, but the cable modem. I have an acre of land. Wow. All right, another. These are the ones that I like because as a marketing guy, this is where I can answer. But yeah, it seems like with an acre of land. Also, I'm really bad with my units. How many feet is that? Is that a lot? That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a fair amount.
That's a lot. I know it's a lot. I forgot how much.
I've got a product for them.
Ooh, hey, Brett, what's your?
They say they have an acre of land.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have an acre of land, we recently launched a new product for the business side, which is called the AirBridge, the wireless AirBridge. The long name is the Insight Instant Wireless AirBridge, but essentially it's a outdoor capable Wi-Fi access point. But if you buy 2 of them, you can create a link between 2 units, and they can actually beam internet through what's called a bridge up to 9,000 meters, which is like over 5 miles, as long as it's line of sight. And also, just to know, at that range, you're not going to get super fast speeds, but you will get usable speed. We don't have exact numbers because it can depend on a lot of factors. But one thing we do say is you can get 500 megabits at 500 feet. So if you do only 500 feet, line of sight, 2 units, you can beam that internet across. Other options are, of course, the access points are designed to be longer distance, so they connect further than your usual access points. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult than setting up something like an Orbi or something, but the support team can help you out. and set up a system. And I think up to 5 units, 3 to 5 units can connect to each other to make different types of layouts. So in chat, we can put in a link to the wireless AirBridge product, and so you can read more about it and learn about it. But that would be something I would do if I had a lot of land and I needed to beam information very far to, like, let's say across to another building or something like that. You would put both units on the outside of the building. The plugs can be plugged outdoors or, using an extension cable, and it's going to beam the data between the 2 units. And now you can extend your network to a whole other section of your property. So yeah, I would use the Insight Instant Wireless AirBridge.
Yeah. No, that's a really good solution. So just kind of piggyback off of that. So it kind of works as like a virtual wire. So let's say you have building number 1, building number 2. You want Wi-Fi here, you want Wi-Fi there. You can use the AirBridge to connect essentially the 2 buildings, and it's under the same network, is it? I don't know if there's different SSIDs, Brett.
It depends on how you have it set up. You can set it where this is an SSID, or you can set it up where the 2 AirBridges just only talk to each other, and you, at that point, you can't connect to them through wireless. They'll basically become a virtual wire, but they have an Ethernet port on it, so you can plug that Ethernet port into another wireless router or an access point or something like a power over Ethernet camera, something like that, and then extend the network to another part of your property. But you can also just put it up on a pole and say, this connects back to the main, and it creates Wi-Fi over in this area over a longer distance than a usual Wi-Fi access point. So there's like 3 or 4 different ways to configure it. We can link to a video also that the website and the video that'll talk about it. But it's the WBC 502.
So check that out.
Product, yeah. But it's got a ton of options. It's pretty sweet unit. We have a company down here in San Jose that's using it for like their golf course and some of these other things. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then just so you have a comparison, so AirBridge is going to work really well if you want to connect like 2, I guess, separate kind of sites. Site number 1, site number 2. But if you just have your house, like let's say you have a big-ish house on your property, I'm jealous. But if you only want to just connect your house, my first bet is Orbi. But let us know the square footage of your house. Not saying like you got to tell us where you live or whatever, but like, give us like dimensions, wall materials, and we'll be able to help you out in case you just want to have it within your home. So yeah, just a couple things to think about.
Yeah, one option with something like the AirBridge would to just have the AirBridges on the outside of the house, essentially. And then when you're out on the property, you'll have a longer distance connection through Wi-Fi devices, and not using it as a virtual wire. And that's why, there's a lot of different options. So that's another option. It's outdoor rated.
Sick.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah. And you can always call up a managed service provider or IT installer. They'll help you figure out something like that if you need help, because it is a little bit more complicated than just a business, just a regular consumer product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it kind of depends if you're kind of more of a set and forget it kind of person, or if you do like to fiddle around with kind of like the ins and outs of your network. We get a lot of different kind of folks here on the show. So yeah. If you got any follow-ups, let us know. But AirBridge.
Yeah, we'd like to hear what you do.
That's where we kind of.
Yeah, Orbi does have some outdoor satellite option, an outdoor satellite option too. So if you do go with an Orbi system, you can link that. You can put that on the outside of your house, and that'll connect to your router, which is inside the house. So that's some other options.
Cool. So just so we get down, so we're actually, where are we at? We're at the hour mark. We're only 20 minutes behind. Usually around this time is when we're catching up, but we appreciate you guys, throwing your questions, and of course we love taking the time to make sure that we answer them fully. But Brendan, I did see your comment about the Nighthawk mesh system. I believe Christine has sent a link a little bit farther down. Check out that link below, but that is something that is becoming more and more popular right now, because it's that nice middle ground between like you want to have a mesh system, but maybe you don't want you want. How we describe it is that it's kind of like the Android of the mesh systems, and Orbi is kind of like our iOS. So Android, I can say about the show, right? A little bit cheaper.
We don't have phones. We can say that.
Yeah, they're not watching. No one's watching it. A little bit cheaper, or sorry, more affordable, but you could fiddle around with it and then make it work to your preferences. But Orbi is a little bit more premium, a little bit more set and forget it. But you'll have that cost associated with that. So yeah, just to kind of drill it down.
Yeah. I would say if you want something that's set up that you don't have to worry about, you don't have to tinker too much with, Orbi is the way to go. If you're looking at trying to be able to get a little bit of performance and a little bit of if you're okay, if you feel comfortable with making adjustments and doing some tinkering, then I would go Nighthawk.
Yeah. And just got a follow up from Anthony, just because we're still talking about mesh. 5,000 square feet. Orbi. That's where.
Yep.
That's when you drill it down. Orbi's
and especially with large areas like that. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to have to, tinker around too much with that. I just want my internet to work. So, in that situation, I'm definitely going to suggest Orbi. We should have like a little vote thing where it like comes up at the bottom, where it's like.
You know what I want on this show? I want to make this overlay like update with the question that we're answering, and then make it look all fancy. We'll get there.
And then we could hold up like a card, that's like Orbi, or Nighthawk,
yeah, give us feedback. We
panel said ding.
Awesome, and seems like Vanessa is like down to check out Airbridge, so good stuff, Brett. Vanessa's. I did see an earlier comment about you love your R9000, but we love people who come back to the show, but are really into this stuff. We live and breathe this as our job, so sometimes sometimes we'll just say things, but sometimes I gotta kind of bring it a little bit down a level. But of course we got folks that probably even know more than me, so. It's great to see you back here, and that you like it. Cool. Yeah, Anthony. Sorry. I saw the Orbi Wi-Fi 6 system. That is a really good choice. I mean, I'm not sure if it's graded up for a certain amount of range in terms of square footage, but I'm wondering if the RBK 852, that'll be enough for 5,000. I don't know if you need even another satellite for that. I would say actually
to follow up as well is does that system come with a cable modem? No, but any of the CM lines, probably for your system, you probably got a pretty good pipe coming in. So I would suggest like any like CM 1000 or higher, like up to CM 1200.
Yeah. So just kind of thinking ahead of your situation here, I'm assuming you're kind of starting fresh.
Yeah.
I would say even compare what's available within your budget. If I could recommend something, RBK 853 and like the CM 1200, like a top-notch modem, top-notch router. Once you set that up, like that's gonna be just 10,000 miles ahead of anything your ISP can give you, because your ISP is not gonna give you something graded up for 5,000 square feet for sure.
It's going to give you solid performance for the near future. That's for sure. It's going to be like they're just solid pieces of equipment. I love my CM router, or modem. Sorry.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to scroll back up unless you guys have anything else to recommend.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. How far up do I got to go? Okay. Just shout out Vanessa. Yeah, 919 megabits per second, 11 millisecond ping. That's super solid. Well, glad you liked the show. And then Marcial, I don't know if I skipped another one, but wait. Actually, sorry, Mohammed. is what's the best budget gaming router? That one was 1230.
Best budget gaming router, XR300.
XR300. Easy. Yep.
Easy answer.
That's the most affordable one you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have Doom OS, which will give you those gaming specific features.
Yep, it has the same operating system that's in the 500 and the 700. It's just in a smaller package. And it basically, you're going to be able to connect less devices to it because it just doesn't have like the processing power if it's two other bigger Billy Goat Gruffs. But it's still, you know, if you're just running one Xbox One or one PlayStation or one Switch or one PC, you know, as long as you're not having, you know, 3 or 4 gaming devices at the same time, you're probably pretty solid.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I think he had a couple questions about killing that dead spot in the 2,000 square foot apartment. It is a good budget, but yeah,
but with that distance in that size of an apartment, I would not recommend the 300. I would go with the XRM 570. You're going to need to want to at least have an extender of some sort to get Wi-Fi throughout that space.
Yeah, I do agree. But yeah, scope out your options, and once you start drilling it down, pass it by us, and then we'll be happy to give you the go ahead or not. You know, so keep us updated. But yeah, I do want to go back to Marcial. So, can you change Wi-Fi channels using the Nighthawk app? If so, how? I have the REX 200. That's a good question. I don't know, Darren, do you have any insight as to that functionality within the app?
You might have to give me a minute. I'm trying to boot up my app and find out.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it'd be great if so, but if not, definitely doable through the web GUI. But once Darren's able to pull that up, we could confirm with you real quick. And then just because we're also talking about the app again, so Sergio, I see your follow-up. You're trying to put in the IP address so you can access the router settings, which is fine. And also the fact that you're able to get to the app, that is awesome to hear. That's the preferred way to go. But features like QoS, that's definitely in the web GUI. I forgot about our roll-up plans if we're able to put that within through the app. Darren, I'm gonna have to ask you if you can double it up and see if you can change traffic channels, but also if you can do QoS settings, or if you have that top of your mind.
And just scanning through the chat right now, I find that fantastic seeing how many devices you guys have connected and what speeds you guys are getting. That's really cool. So like keep that rolling. That's amazing.
Yeah. Give us the feeds and speeds.
Feeds and speeds.
We're all about it.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
I'm seeing like, you know, Vanessa has like 2 households and still getting, you know, great speed through. That's just fantastic. In a weird way, it warms our hearts.
But that's what we want to do. Is as more folks are getting gigabit speeds, and it's becoming more available. At least from what we see here on the coast. You're gonna have to have that equipment that could essentially get those gigabit speeds and deliver them to your devices, and it's very hard to do that if you're just using a very basic solution. You can't use. It's like, how do you say this? You're putting like 89, like whatever, like racing fuel into like a Chevy. Like that's what I see. You want to get the most.
Not to offend any of those with high performance Chevys out there.
Sorry, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree. I would say it's like I always think of your router and your modem as like what grips you to the internet, and if you go to a car, what grips you to the road is your tires, and you don't want to have budget tires when you're trying to handle curves or do anything, any sort of performance, you want to have high quality tires, and the stuff that you're going to get out of like your ISP is always going to be, I'll take it even a step further. It's like trying to win the Indianapolis 500 with like bicycle tires on your car. So
there you go. That's a good one. Yeah, we're all in a race here,
yeah.
And just
We're
go ahead.
Yeah. Did we finish with Marcel? God, I butchered that. I apologize.
Oh, dude,
yeah, to answer your question, no and no. You can look at what channels your router is on within the app, but it does not allow you to change it within the app. You'd have to actually log in via the web browser.
So this is good stuff we could deliver to our product team.
Tell the product team that's sort of a request, and sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, but if they say no, there's usually a reason for it. Maybe a security issue or a privacy issue or something along those lines. But we can definitely bubble that up.
Yeah, and also just to shout one other thing is we have our community. I believe we have a feature request board where if you throw in a feature request and it gets enough, I don't know if it's like an upvote system, but if it gets enough votes, it will be presented to the product team. So, Christine, I'm not sure if you're on the line, you're able to link out to that in the community, but that's also a really good venue to make sure that you guys get heard, because that's what we're here for too. We want to amplify your voice. Cool. All right, next question is still on QoS. Great, we're staying on theme. Sumya, you're next. I'm looking for a router with good QoS. My requirement is that a specific website needs to be the most priority. This website is a web app for an office that needs the most priority access.
That sounds like a Brett question. An office.
Wow.
What? Sorry. What was the question?
So this is actually very good for you, Brett. So he needs a router with good QoS, and the requirement is that he needs a specific website, which is more specifically a web app for an office that needs priority access to that web app.
Well, so right now we don't really have a router for the business side at the moment. We have one that's designed to be a VPN router only, but it's made just to set up VPN connections between two sites. It's not considered a super high performance router. So there's options out there for getting faster routers with like specific QoS, but right now I wouldn't have a recommendation from our product line at this time for a router. If you need access points or switches, we certainly have plenty of products that will fit the bill. If you need to distribute that whatever is being routed across your network, but I would say look at some of the other products out there.
So I guess just to drill it down, check out the portfolio of any NETGEAR Insight managed devices. It's Insight will be able to give you the most control over that QoS for an office setting. Once
you've connected devices to it, you can use NETGEAR Insight, which is a remote management tool. It'll let you adjust the performance to all of the devices connected to your router. But as far as routers go, one thing you might look at is the BR500. See if it fits the bill for what you're looking for. But we're exploring some other products in the router space for business. But that's the main product we have for routers right now for business space.
Cool. Yeah. Christine, I don't know. Sorry, we're throwing a lot at you today. But if you're able to throw in the page for Insight, or actually, I could also show it right here. I'm actually going to just do this really quick. So I believe. Let me know if you guys can see that. But I'm just going to flip it up right here. So just for when Also, this is great for anyone here who's watching the show. If we actually did a wireless access point event, and then we did talk about Insight in a home environment. But this is really slick software that is really it's aimed at small medium businesses. But we found out that there's a lot of people out there that find a lot of benefit when they're able to set up access points within their home, and then of course in the office setting as well. But if I just kind of flip down here, gain control of your business network with Insight, and you'll be able to pull it there. Oh, and actually I just got a chat. Brett, what do you think about Orbi Pro? Thank you, Christine.
Orbi Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Orbi Pro is a really great option for small, medium businesses that want to set up a really powerful network with guest connections and basically various access points around their business or their home, and have business features built into it, including remote management. It's a little bit less involved than building a network out of access points, because it's similar to the Orbi product where you set it, you put the various pieces around your site, they'll all connect to the router, and they'll all mesh up and start working instantly. And it has, I think, 4 SSIDs. You have a guest SSID, 2.5, the 5, and then you actually have an admin network as well. So it creates a bunch of different SSIDs on your property. It connects all of the devices together, and they all can be managed through one spot. So it's a really great business product in that case. If you like Orbi, but you have a small business, then it's probably one of the easiest systems to set up and get up and running on.
Awesome. Yeah, I would say Orbi Pro. Yeah, check that out.
That's Orbi Pro is fantastic for that.
It's got Insight.
And it's compatible with Insight. That's right.
Cool. Check that out.
So if you want to be able to keep an eye on if everything's staying connected, if your site's up, if everything's running, then you can just check the app, or you'll get an alert if things go down, and you can use that to set up and keep everything running and run your firmware updates, etc. And there's always new features being added to Insight. So.
Sweet. Cool. Definitely check that out. Thank you, Christine. I got your message, and then that's what got my head. If you keep giving me good answers like that, I'm going to pull you into the show, so be careful. But cool. Let us know if that helps you. So we're still, we're only 35 minutes behind, but again, let's try to catch up. Brendan, is there a correlation between router transmitter length, size, and number of them with Wi-Fi coverage? Or do most of the Nighthawk routers have roughly the same range despite different transmitter setups? So it seems like, is this like an antenna question?
Yeah, this is like a pretty technical antenna question, it looks like.
So, I guess to answer, the range would actually be different depending on the spec of the router, I would say. It's very hard to, especially when you're talking about routers, it's very hard to say you're going to get X amount of square footage or whatever, just because everyone's homes are built a little bit differently. Everyone's got different walls, everyone's got windows, microwaves, aquariums, whatever the heck is set up in your house, you're going to get a different range along with that. But I would say that, just to answer this the best, the best of my ability, when we're looking at routers, I would say look at find what's within your own budget that fits the performance that you want. If you have gigabit speeds, and you want to get the full range of those speeds, look at something a little bit higher spec. Look at something that's like Wi-Fi 6, like the RBK 852. Orbi Wi-Fi 6 is your best bet, especially for a large space and you want the fastest speeds per gigabit. But let's say you have something that's like 100 megabits per second, you have a smaller house, you're in let's say a studio apartment, one of our lower spec routers are going to work well. But just, I guess, kind of going to the transmitter, I'm going to translate that into antennas. If it's external, internal, it doesn't really matter. Orbi doesn't have antennas, but it's just as powerful as, our Nighthawk routers that do have antennas. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with that question. I don't know if you guys had any other here.
So there's a lot of different things that control how far the Wi-Fi goes, and believe it or not, the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi actually has the farthest range because it's less affected by the atmosphere and it's less affected by walls and things in the way. It's able to penetrate further, but it's definitely not the fastest. So when you go up to the 5 gigahertz channels, which you have on the AC and the AX Wi-Fi 6, then you want more channels and you want more bands. So if it says 2x2, a 4x4 would have basically more antenna links with the device that you're using. But for instance, most phones, things like this, they can only connect to a 2x2 radio. So until you have like a 4x4 or something that connect to more times, then you're going to be limited by a lot of different factors. So really, there's no really saying how many, but the higher bandwidth devices generally have more channels, and that's why they have more bandwidth. So go with the ones with the higher speeds. That's going to give you a little bit more range and a little bit more connection strength because devices have more opportunities to connect to the access point.
Yeah.
So yeah, go with the higher speeds. It's going to give you more range. If you don't have enough range with a single access point, go with a multi-access point system like Orbi Pro or like Orbi and tri-band extenders and things like that.
Sweet. Yeah, Brendan, let us know if that helps. I know you're going all the way to the bottom of the chat. Y'all are talking about light bulbs now. So, I hope that what we said was a little bit helpful, but, let us know if you had any follow-ups in terms of, the hardware that goes into these routers. Cool. I want to get to X Macho Man X12. Does anyone know why when I connect my NETGEAR Nighthawk R8000P to my Xfinity modem, I still get 30 megabytes or megabits of download speed? So what I could get from that question is that you're not reaching the full speeds out of your modem. My question back to you, what are the speeds you're supposed to be getting? And also, I want to know if you're connecting on the 5 gigahertz band or the 2.4. What I would just recommend off the bat, connect to the 5 gigahertz band. Make sure that, if you're doing these speed tests, you're close to your router. There's a lot of factors that go into these kinds of things. Even the time of day when you're testing, that could affect your download speeds. But I just want to know what that difference is of what you're expecting and what you're actually getting.
Yeah, well, another thing to look at is if any devices on your network are currently uploading, if you're saturating your upload, it completely can stall out your download speed as well. I had an issue where a laptop was uploading a massive amount of data to my network, and it was slowing everything down. And that's just a factor of how the radio channels work and how you can saturate your upload channel. So certainly make sure you're not downloading anything or uploading anything when you're trying to run your speed tests as well. And that's where something like the anti-buffer bloat or the QoS system on the routers will really help, channel that data and prioritize it.
Awesome. Yeah, Xmacho, if you're still here, let us know what you're paying for, and then we'll help you get there. But awesome. I'm gonna keep going down. This was at 12:45. Jay's Beers. Does NETGEAR have a mesh system like Eero? Yes. Orbi or Nighthawk mesh. Both are Wi-Fi 6. I'm just gonna say, we're the only one out there that have mesh systems that has that Wi-Fi 6 compatibility. So just a pro tip for you. Cool. Ally Edward King. Any new update for the RDX 80? With the porting issue not showing up in the port list. I'll throw it out to you guys. I'm not too sure if this is like a known issue for the RDX 80 and if there's a fix coming out for it. I guess it's more for Darren.
I'm gonna have to check on that one. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just go ahead to the next one, just while you're looking that one up, and then we'll go back. MPES. I have the ReadyNAS RN10200. Is that one remoted, or I guess remotely managed? I'm the only one using it at home, and I have a very basic use for it. I mean, my question, right off the bat, yeah, you use a ReadyNAS to remotely connect to it, so you can access your files. That's how the ReadyNAS works. It's you're able to plug it into your router. You can wirelessly access your files. Network attached storage. But I don't know if you guys had any other insight as to how you get full use out of a ReadyNAS besides remotely connecting to it. If not, that's how it works. Let us know if you have issues though when you're remotely connecting to it. That's where I would take that next. Darren, I'm not too sure if we were able to find something for Ally though in the meantime.
We're still looking into that.
Okay. No worries. Next one, Brandon, you're back. I hope you're paying attention. Are all standalone NETGEAR routers known as Nighthawk? Or is Nighthawk a distinct family in the NETGEAR range? And what differentiates them from other NETGEAR routers? That's a fun question. So, difference between Nighthawk and other NETGEAR routers. Nighthawk, it started actually a bunch of years back, but that was our first way into the premium line. You know, something that was more based out of, this is back when it was 11N Wi-Fi 4, right? And again, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but Nighthawk was intended to differentiate from kind of these lower spec ones, where we were pushing out a lot of range extenders, a lot of 11N routers, and Nighthawk was the first foray into 11AC. It was fastest, it was the speediest, and it was meant for streaming and gaming back when, you know, it was maybe like a generation ago in terms of the consoles. Online gaming is essentially starting to kick off, and you know, Nighthawk is that that first foray. So, and I would say that it's evolved where we're essentially majority premium now in terms of NETGEAR. So when you look at Nighthawk, that's going to be very, very prevalent. I would say the only thing you really have to kind of think about in terms of when you're buying a new router is that, do you want something where you want to kind of fiddle around with it? Are you that more kind of technical kind of person that's going to benefit from setting up QoS, setting up, you know, especially when it comes to Nighthawk gaming, you know, that just imagine those kinds of things, like going into a dashboard and fiddling around with it and then trying to get the most out of your network. Or if you don't want Nighthawk, you want something like Orbi. You want something where you set it up and it just goes. You satellite, router, they speak to each other, you don't touch it again. That's the biggest thing that I could differentiate between Nighthawk and kind of everything else that we offer. Cool. Well, that's my brand spiel, unless anyone else has anything to offer. And then I did see something from Christine come in saying that she posted a blog about Nighthawk Mesh, or something's coming up. But just to go down, we're going to go back to Mohammed. This is for the 2,000 square foot apartment. My router is another brand. Will the NETGEAR Universal Range Extender extend my Wi-Fi death zone? Yes, universal range extenders are universal, and they will work with your current setup. Cool.
Back to that question, Angelo. I think we need to get in contact with them and work with them offline. We really haven't seen any issues like that, so we need to work with that customer on that racks issue.
Okay. Hey, Ally Edward King, we're gonna shoot you. We're gonna shoot a request to you, and we want you to shoot a request back. So go email us at netgearteam@netgear.com and hashtag stay connected, add that hashtag into the subject line of the email so we know that you're coming from the show today. And then we'll be able to help you out with the porting issue. Just because, as Darren mentioned, it's something new, and it's something that we'll try to work one-on-one with you to kind of resolve. It's a little bit more of a special issue. All right. I'm going to keep going down. All right. We're back down at 12:53, so this is probably the most amount that we've had in terms of questions and the time spending on questions. So again, if we're going too slow, yell at us. If we're going too fast, yell at us. Brendan, is there a window I need to upgrade my firmware by, or can I download the update via app a few months later after it's well tested by others? Now you can upgrade the firmware at any time. Yep. Boom. All right, knocked out. Mohammed.
Some people even downgrade.
Yeah.
You can go pretty much whatever firmware you want, but we always recommend the latest.
Yeah. Most likely it's going to be fine. If you see a firmware update, don't get scared. It's going to be fine. Back to Mohammed. My internet speed, dedicated real IP of 20 megabits per second. Will Wi-Fi 6 increase and improve my Wi-Fi speed? In that case, okay. One, find something within your budget. We're not going to tell you to buy the biggest and baddest thing just so we could get your money. We're going to tell you something that you're just going to reach the full speed you're going to get. But 20 megabits per second and a 2,000 square foot apartment, let's say. I would actually, yeah. I mean, you're looking at range here. I would still look at mesh. For your solution. Range extenders are going to help, and I think in your case it might be an okay band-aid solution for, let's say you want to keep your current router, you want to just spend a little less and just get one of our range extenders. That should be okay, but I think I would rather recommend something that's going to be a little bit more future-proof and something where you're gonna, again, we want you to essentially kill that spot. So I would actually look at the Nighthawk Mesh MK62. That's what I would say.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be a really great option in that case.
Yeah, cool. MK62. Christine, if you're able to throw in a link for that one, that might be a little bit helpful. And you'll have Wi-Fi 6, so yes. It's not going to increase the speeds that you're paying for. It's going to just do its job as to getting the speeds that you're paying for right now. So 20 megabits per second, you could expect 20 megabits per second, but you could also expect at the same time to kill that dead spot, because that's what we don't want here. Cool. Back.
So
Go.
I just noticed somebody gave us a thumbs down on today's cast. So
Got haters.
if you're still on, what did we not do? I know that we're kind of getting slow on getting to all these questions, but man, you guys have been like just putting out questions left and right. You're gonna tire. Oh, I already can't talk. So, but if we haven't gotten to your question, be patient. That's why we make this 2 hours. We try to get to everybody. We can't always get to everybody, but we definitely try. And so, yeah. Oh, now 2. God, I'm just gonna shut up. Every single time I talk, it's. Thanks for flipping it.
I'm gonna dip in here, Ben, and take over the. Guys, if you're able to like and subscribe to us, we would really appreciate that. It helps us get to, this show out to more people, just because this is something when, we started sheltering in place, we started, seeing some crazy support times. So we decided to try something new, We want to do a weekly show every Friday to help you guys out. As long as you guys are here in the chat, we're going to continue doing the show. If no one's here, you guys reach out to
as
someone.
long as you guys like it, we'll continue to do it.
So like and subscribe, or else we're going to go
please.
away. No, I'm kidding. But thank you guys, though. I do appreciate you guys being here. Sergio, we're going to go back. Okay. So my AT&T/combo modem router, disable the Wi-Fi on the modem so it will send to the Nighthawk only. Yes, you did everything right. Do I have to change anything else on the modem for me to access the NETGEAR router? Nope. What you're going to want to do now is, from what I remember, you want to access the settings. If you're still plugged in, plug it in to any of the Ethernet ports except the WAN port on the router, and then type in routerlogin.net, and then you'll be able to access those router settings because I believe you wanted some QoS. QoS will be readily available right when you get into the dashboard. Unfortunately, it's not yet there available on the app, but this is something that we're gonna be able to pass on to our product team. So,
Well, he might not have done it correctly. Just disabling the Wi-Fi doesn't shut off the router on the AT&T side. So if the router's still on the AT&T modem, it'll reassign the IP address of the Nighthawk router, and that's why he can't access it via those IP addresses. So he needs to find a way to either bridge or make it modem only on the AT&T unit, not just shut off the Wi-Fi.
Awesome. Even better advice. So yeah, set it to bridge mode. That's your best bet. Set it to bridge mode, and you're going to avoid any of this confusion between all these different IP addresses going on within your network. So bridge mode, I believe on AT&T they should be able to. It should be a setting, because I have AT&T as well. It should be a setting pretty close to disabling the Wi-Fi. But yeah, look into the setting bridge mode on an AT&T modem, and then you should be able to find some knowledge-based articles from the AT&T side to help you out there. Cool. All right, we're gonna go all the way down. I see some chit chat between Vanessa and Christine. Awesome, really cool stuff to hear.
I'm gonna do a quick answer. I saw one. Shady Joker. Yes, that means that you are now connected to IPv6.
Awesome. If I'm in, let me know if we already answered this, but I'm pretty sure we didn't. X Macho, he was saying, can anyone help with my NETGEAR Nighthawk R8000P? I'm only getting 30 megabits download. I'm always lagging while gaming. Oh, was this I want to know exactly what the full speed is supposed to be getting, because I want to see
there's
how much is being throttled, essentially.
And also, how many devices do you like? What while you're gaming? Are you watching Netflix, or how many streaming devices do you have? Internet of Things. How many things do you have connected? That's going to also attribute to some lag.
Yeah, and I think also with the R8000, let us know your ping. The speeds are okay in terms of like 30 megabits down, like is okay for online gaming, but really if you're lagging, ping is going to be the more
ping is the issue.
Yeah, and your Wi-Fi stability if you're using Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So if you're gaming,
what are you gaming on? That also, if you're connecting, is it a PS4? Are you hardwired? Are you Wi-Fi with a PS4? Because those all have issues as well.
Yeah. So a couple more details. Let us know what you should be paying for. Let us know what your ping is. Let us know what you're gaming on. And that's actually a pretty good start as to kind of us helping you out. But yeah, keep us updated here. And in case you just want to solve it right away, hardwired is better. That's just FYI. Okay. Brendan, Vanessa, thank you for all these comments. This is good stuff to hear.
There's a lot of good stuff here for not only just for us, but also for everybody in the chat. Fantastic stuff here.
Awesome. Gabriel, hello, you're back. We got our group of regulars. So Brendan, Vanessa, Gabriel, chilling. All right. Okay. I have to kind of scroll back up for Sergio.
Not this
follow
one.
up saying he's got gigabit speeds. But yeah, if you want those full speeds, set your AT&T modem to bridge mode, and then that's gonna help you out. And then once you're able to set that modem to bridge mode, then you get to your router settings and then set up QoS. Then you should be good to go. But again, we're here. We're down to almost like the last 20 minutes. I'm running out of breath, honestly. I don't know about you guys, but we're starting to scroll all the way down. Cool. I'm getting to the light bulb part. I don't know if you guys had any questions on that, Vanessa and Brandon, but yes, Hue does have an app to access its features. That's my question. That's my answer. Okay, Lex. So if I connect my modem to my laptop with an Ethernet cable, will it pull up the settings? Lex, you gotta remind me. Was that the R8000? Anyone? Anyone
Yeah,
on the show could help me out?
I believe that was go back in the
Yeah.
here.
So, yeah, he did have the R8000. Let me scroll back down. Yeah, so actually connect the laptop to the router. That's what we always recommend. Leave your modem to speak to the router, and then leave it at that. We actually wouldn't recommend you plugging in anything else to your modem, but from here on out, plug in your laptop to the router, because the router is going to be, it has all of the QoS settings. It has all these settings that you could fiddle around with, but if you're connected to your modem, it's going to bypass all of that. So we highly recommend you plug into the router first. And yeah, because if you're also plugging in PC to modem, you're not going to be able to pull up routerlogin.net, as far as I know. Cool. I don't know if there's any other questions in between. I'm going to keep on scrolling down here.
I see this question about a few times. Origin not able to update my iPhone because it says there's no internet connection. He has an Orbi. We need a little bit more information. You're not able to download the recent iPhone update from my Orbi Mesh. What to do? Well, one is saying that there's no internet connection from your phone to the Orbi. Are your other devices connected? Is it just your phone? And are you following the protocol as far as updating your iPhone? Is it plugged in? That sort of thing. Have you tried, downloading the update to was it iTunes, and then try updating your phone manually? There's a bunch of things, but first thing is are you connecting other devices to your Orbi? If other things are connected to the Orbi, I would probably say that it's probably something to do with your phone.
Yep. Totally agree with all of that. So, one, it's interesting to hear that you're having connection issues with an iPhone, but not any other device. I would say, yeah, let us know if you're able to go on the internet on a laptop, but you're having troubles with your phone. That's where my thinking is the issue might be something on the client side, which is on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Easy fix. If you could connect to the internet on your laptop, awesome. Plug in your phone to the laptop, because again, it might be something going on the iPhone side. Connect it to iTunes, and then as long as your internet is able to download the firmware through iTunes, that's going to be able to solve that issue. I'm not an Apple support agent either, but yeah, that might be your solution there. But yeah, sometimes I've run into kind of things on the iPhone side where just based on the software, I'll hit the update button and then it'll download, but then something will happen, or I use my phone and then it'll stop the download, and then I don't update the thing, and it gets weird.
And then you've got a corrupted update. I've had that where, I've had iPhones since the beginning of iPhones, and I have to say that one or two of them have been bricked while trying to update.
Yeah. So it's kind of finicky. I've seen it, I've heard it, but what do you do? Number one, test to make sure that you're getting internet to the other devices in your house. Let's say connect to a laptop.
Yep.
If you could confirm that your laptop works, it's more likely something on the iPhone side. And if your laptop works, I would just say go ahead and then just update your iPhone through the laptop. That's kind of where I would just drill it down to and stick it there. We could recommend 20 other things, but might as well make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just reiterating. I was like saying, yeah, if you could connect any other device to your Orbi, then it's. I wouldn't say it's an Orbi issue. I would say it's your client device.
Yeah. And it's interesting to hear that all iPhones in the home are not connecting.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. So confirm with us that you're able to get internet from any other device other than an iPhone. When it gets to your iPhone, restart it, try it again. If not, plug it into iTunes.
Yeah, he's saying that he can't get Amazon Prime to connect. I'm assuming that that's some sort of Chromecast that's not connecting. But you got to confirm with us a little bit more information.
Yep. Yeah. Let us know on the Amazon Prime thing too, because obviously we want that to be working for you. But let's figure out the iPhone one first. We got like the last 15 minutes. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're running out of time, so you just let us know. It's any device. I don't care what it is. A Kindle, a Chrome, a laptop, a Roku TV, anything. I'll take anything. The only the update doesn't work. The update comes when I connect my router directly. Okay, so other devices are connecting. I still don't have that confirmation. I'm sorry. I just need anything. Please let me know.
Yeah, give us the meat.
It's hard. It's hard to troubleshoot over YouTube. More information you can give us, the more it's helpful. Even if that information you don't think is important, it allows us to kind of, scrub through the information. We'll see what's, what kind of pings. But yeah, more information's the better.
Yeah.
I gave Christine an article that she just posted for the iPhone user. Sometimes there's a setting that can be disabled that helps iPhones connect, and it's the 2040 megahertz coexistence.
Yeah.
So maybe try disabling that. There's a KB linked in the chat on how to do that.
Wow, awesome! I didn't know about that one. Yeah, try it out. That might be your best bet, because everything else I was gonna be like, upgrade to the latest firmware and reset the router, or like turn it back off and on.
iPhones,
yeah.
Apple devices have been known. I learned this a long time ago with that setting. For some reason, disabling it allows them to connect sometimes. It is one thing I've tried.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Darren.
Because I think that also helps with Wi-Fi calling, because sometimes iPhones get dumb, and won't connect Wi-Fi calling.
Yeah, these are all like complex devices, both on the the router end and the client end. So yeah, we'll figure out our best bet to kind of like swim around and then pinpoint the issue, and then.
But we're trying to help. So.
Yeah, awesome.
Keep,
Thank you.
Keep it coming.
Yeah.
We got like little over 10 minutes left.
Awesome. So I'm gonna roll back up a little bit. One, Dan Tuma, welcome back. The person
I agree
down.
with Dan Tuma. Just kidding.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
We just got haters. No. Brendan, would be interesting to see a NETGEAR case studies Instagram/YouTube video, like of different people's setups. Big family houses to small apartments with different setups. That's actually pretty cool. You're talking to the
we would love to do that as well. The hardest thing right now with that kind of stuff is COVID. It's kind of put a big damper on us going out to people's houses and showing. But if I'll say this, if you are a customer out there and you have a pretty cool setup, and you'd like to just shoot some footage of, hey guys, here's my setup, and here's where we were, and here's where we are now, and I love what we're doing, or our products, or and if you post it and tag us, we'll definitely get shouted out to the world.
You'll get retweeted in a second.
You will get retweeted.
Yeah, I could speak up to the like, let's say on Nighthawk Gaming Instagram, we have that in our bio. If you do hashtag Nighthawk Gaming, we're gonna be able to see it, and then we're gonna be able to repost it. Same thing goes on Twitter. Just tag us. We're the social guys, so we love being able to see that. So
even if you have a Switch, Netgear Switch, got that thing plugged in, I'll retweet you. Hashtag
I actually I'll put this out as a challenge to the crowd out there.
Yeah.
Give us see what you guys can come up with in the next 2 weeks.
Show us what you got.
Yeah.
Show us what you got.
Didn't expect that now, did you?
Yeah,
we just turned that around. Sorry. But no, we'd love to see what you guys are doing and how you guys have it set up. Because I think it helps everybody with, I'm using this, and I'm using this, and here's, everybody's situation is slightly unique, but I think we can all relate. So.
Oh yeah. I'm sure your guys' stuff is more interesting than mine too. You're gonna look at my living room, and it's gonna be a router. I'm actually more of a set and forget it person, believe it or not. Sorry, Ben. I know. I used to have the XR 700. Now I got the RX 200. What else? Oh, go
ahead. Who makes up the funny password names? So we have an entire team dedicated to making up those password names.
It's this one intern actually. All they do is just put different letters and numbers together.
Yeah, we officially their title is copywriter. But yeah, they just come up with passwords.
Yeah, their office is actually in the lab. It's really hot, and they don't really give them water. No, I'm kidding. I think it's all automatic now. It's auto generated, and they are pretty funny. I will say that I've kept mine because it was just the most ridiculous password I've in the history of every password I've ever had for a router. It was the most ridiculous one. I've got to keep that. So Shady Dolphin 451.
Actually, that's it. Damn it.
Oh, I just spilled it on the show.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're not going to get your password out.
When is the new Duma OS coming out? So we're in beta, and I know that we're in beta on the XR 500 right now. The 700 is coming along. That we'll be testing pretty soon. You've got a 450, so that is something that I believe should be covered under the 500 beta test right now. As soon as the 500 gets through the closed beta, we'll be opening it up out to everybody, and then we will be following up with the 700 and 300. So just bear with us. It is coming. I know that there is a video out there saying that we don't care as far as these updates, or that the beta test is only on the 500, and we're we don't care about you guys with the 450, 700, and 300. That's not true. We are working our way through it. But we want each one of those routers, even though they use the same operating system, they're very different routers, and so we have to proceed with those, in a methodical way. And so we'll get to you. Just bear with us. We want to bring Duma 3.0 to everybody out there, and we want it to be the best possible operating system in the world for gaming routers. So in order to do so, it's just going to take. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
And then Shady Side Joker, you got IPv6. What else can you do to help hardwire your Xbox One? That's about it at the moment. Test drive it for a week. Come back next week. Let me know if you see any improvement. But you'll definitely, if you're like me, you'll see an improvement between playing games with voice chat, especially in game.
Yeah. And Brendan and I also wanted to shout you out. Plugged in another access point into the R8000. And yeah, awesome. I mean, sorry to hear that you're still waiting on a new extender. But yeah, I mean, great to have you back in the family. But yeah, all these networking devices, most will work and play together. Believe it or not, nothing's ever too complicated. And then P.S. the competitions on your Instagram page, the links never work. Ooh.
What?
DM us, and then we're gonna look at that. But
yeah,
I'm not sure if there was anything going live. I know you had a contest going on. Was that closed out this week?
For Nighthawk Pro Gaming.
Yeah.
It closes in 24 hours. It closes tomorrow, and that's the Baby Bay giveaway. Your chance to get an XR500. I don't know. I don't think he's given away the XR500 on his stream yet, so you can also bounce over to his stream and have a second chance to win. You're in Ireland. Most of our giveaways are North America, but our UK team gives away some things every once in a while. It's international. It's international freight that really keeps us from shipping out to you.
Some of the laws too, when it comes to sweepstakes, it gets a little complex.
Yeah, especially there's different privacy laws, and so we'd have to have multiple terms and conditions.
Yeah, for sure.
And then where is Arjun?
You got 5 minutes.
You got 5 minutes.
And I also wanted to shout out Vanessa. Thank you again. Yeah, we persevere, but again, this is kind of like where we're trying to find this line of, yeah, we got a lot of questions, so we want to answer them fully, but we also want to make sure that we don't fall too far behind. So yeah, thank you for your patience and kind of bearing down with us. I mean, we're down to our last 5 minutes and we just barely caught up. So and also thanks to everyone here on the show, Brett, Darren, Ben. I think we answered a lot today.
If you look for Nighthawk Pro Gaming, Brendan, I don't believe that there's a UK Instagram. That's kind of more focused on North America, but there is our NETGEAR UK Twitter and I believe Facebook as well.
Yeah, I believe so too. And then just make sure you're following those. And then I mean, we just have pretty much our one main guy over in the UK. He does a great job pushing out a lot of different kind of contests and campaigns for you guys. So it's really one guy. We're here. You're seeing a lot of us here on the team. So yeah, we love being able to hear from you guys and then just be able to kind of like listen to you guys and at the same time adapt and learn and try to push out cool content. I know we're kind of getting to the end here. I know. Yeah. Think of some hard questions. All right. Not too hard. We're going to wear them.
Yeah, not too hard. I don't think we had a stumper too much today. One person thinks that we did, but that's okay. I don't think that we had anything that was like really like that we didn't answer. And sometimes, that's the hard part about this is, sometimes you get like that question that you're like, oh God, I have you guys have come up with some questions that have really pushed my knowledge base over the last few weeks. I don't know about the rest of the team, and then having specialists like Darren and Michael and Brett, come in with other angles. I just did because everything. Like I'm surprised. Like today was like a low switch day, and the days that we don't have you, there's like all of a sudden a ton of
all the switch questions.
Exactly.
Just
you
plug
know,
it
you planning is 90% of failure. So, but yeah, it's really good, and you guys continue to think of questions, continue to keep this conversation going. I know we're in our last couple minutes, but it's really about you guys, and thank you guys so much. Those 25 likes down at the bottom really helps us show, hey, we're doing good work, and also the fact that you guys are just blowing up the chat. I mean,
Yep,
I
for sure.
remember the first one where we had like 20 minutes of us kind of like
What you doing
dead.
this
Yeah. Exactly.
We're
Talking
past
about
that point.
like
We're past
what
that point.
do we have on our pizza or
Yeah.
what?
Welcome, Vanessa.
Oh, you have a couple events coming up. You got a Duma West walkthrough coming up, Ben?
We've got another one planned. It's coming up in the next 2 weeks. We're going to answer some more questions, and that is, I believe, when is that? That's coming up. I think next week.
Yep. The 30th. Is it like
Yeah,
half or so? Yep.
week and a half.
Yep.
So we'll be here same time, same channel, but it'll just be on the 30th, and we'll do another hour of questions. We've got some updates on Doom OS.
Yep. And you guys will get a sneak peek before we start promoting on social, but we're doing some virtual events. So we there's no trade shows happening this summer, unfortunately, but we're actually taking that virtually, and this is my first time I'm able to tell you guys. We're working on, essentially we're going to have these weekly virtual events where it's going to be like you're at our trade show booth. You don't have to pay for a ticket to get into the trade show, but we're going to be spotlighting Mural, Pro AV, Wi-Fi 6, mobile, Airbridge. We got a lot of content coming out to you guys, so stay tuned. But otherwise, yeah, we're at our 2 o'clock mark. So I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll be doing this again next Friday. Alec will be taking over the show. So we'll be switching back and forth. So if you like me, come back in 2 weeks. But I appreciate you guys coming out. But if you have any more questions, drop it in social. Keep following us, and we'll keep doing this as long as you guys are here.
Yeah, and what is it? The hashtag is stay connected. If you guys have any questions that we haven't answered, ping us on our social media and use the hashtag stay connected, and we'll connect you through to the support. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
All right. We'll see you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Later.